and that's when you have one drink. If you have one drink, it's out of your system in 8 hours. But if you have another drink, depending on the time of that second drink, that adds another hour to the 8 hours. So, like, these people, like, they're having, like, 6 drinks every, like, 10 hours in their life. Like, they can't sleep, they can't go to work without it. They're still looking at, like, when they're done drinking, they're still looking at, like, 16 hours before that stuff is actually even out of their system.
Wow.
So even if you go, like, those people go cold turkey, it's still going to be, like, another day that they're going to...
Be drunk?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Damn. I just don't understand that that's why I don't want to talk, like, I don't like talking about it, because I don't understand that, like, need to be, like, drunk all the time. I mean, I get the part where it's, like, you're too drunk to stop cold turkey, because then you fucking die, but, like,
oh, God,
getting into it.
Yeah.
Is, like, what are you running away from, or, like, I don't know.
Or what are you running towards? I don't know. I don't know. I was there for a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was drinking for... I mean, I don't know the numbers or whatever. It doesn't matter. But I just wanted to, like, be something else. It's not that it wasn't bad feelings. It was just like, I want to feel good. I want to feel good feelings.
Right.
So,
you didn't like where you were, like, sober.
Yeah. I just couldn't, like, find, like, happiness that easily. It's not like I wasn't depressed. I wasn't, like, nothing was going wrong. It's just I wanted.
You wanted to
more.
feel something.
Yeah. So, I don't know. And, like, when you're in that haze, it's like a fog. Mm-hmm. It's like walking around.
Right. It is a fog.
Yeah, because you can never really make a good decision because you
don't know where you're at.
Yeah. You don't remember yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you had some good thoughts yesterday, but you don't really remember what you were thinking about.
Right.
So, yeah. I mean, I can see getting caught up in the cycle. That's the easy part. It's just like, once you get into that mode, you just repeat it. That's the easy part. But yeah, like, I don't know how to explain it to you. Like, why did I go into that? Why did I do that? I don't know. I think I was hanging around with the wrong people. That was part of it. And they weren't good for me, and I wasn't good for them. And
how do you figure that out?
I don't know if it's causing problems elsewhere in your life. Like, I was hanging out with one of my neighbors, and this neighbor was just bad. We were just both bad. Like, we were just both bad kids, like, and we just wanted to drink around each other. That's what we
made you feel accepted and shit.
Yeah. It was like a nice, like, you had a little buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was nice. But then, like, we would argue about shit. Like, we would get super mad sometimes, and then I'd be like, gosh, I don't want to hang out. But it's, like, over this petty crap.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that's how I could tell is, like, man, every time I think about, like, it always, like, we always end up fighting, or we always end up, in conflict. Because, like, we're not really that good of friends. We're just drinking around each other. That's it.
Right. It's just that.
It's this, like, really thin thread.
So you feel like if that's taken away, then your, like, relationship would fall apart.
Yeah, it's like, what are we now what are we going to talk about? Because normally we're, like, yelling about, like, music videos or something. That's what we would talk about. Like,
I like Drake, man. You can't say his last album was gay. No, dude.
I can say I have gay friends. I can say anything's gay.
Yeah. No, I mean, I understand that, yeah. I think I relate to that a bit. But, so it's just a cycle to fall in. Yeah, I think it is because of, like, you drink and then, like, the day after, you're right, like, you still have fog. And then, like, any pressure towards that is, like, you would fall really easily into drinking again. Because it's like, yes. You can't be like, no, I probably shouldn't. You're just probably like, whatever.
It also works, like, on a drug level. It relieves you of your symptoms. Like, when you're hungover, if you drink,
you're not hungover anymore.
Yeah. Now you're just back to being drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I was just curious. Damn. Okay. Well, that's a good way to evaluate your relationships. Like, try to see
Like, are you yelling at them in your head when you think about them?
No.
Are you? No. That's what I was feeling. I was like
Oh.
mad at this other person. Like, we're friends. We hang out all the time, whatever. But then sometimes when I would think of them, I'd be like, God, that fucking argument that we had, like, over just nothing. Like, when they just flipped out on me, I'm really pissed off about that. Like,
Right.
Anyway,
That does happen sometimes. But do you think that's like something that, like, if it happens, you have to what do you call it? Address
closure.
that, or address that for closure, or is it just like something that's like small and you can get over it?
I feel that way now, but
Mhm.
if I can get over it, I should just get over it. Like, it doesn't require closure.
Right.
I'm really against closure anyway.
Why?
I think it's just an excuse to go see that toxic person that you like. You're like, oh, I should get closure on that ex.
No.
Yeah,
Well.
you just like that toxic person. You just want to
Right.
go talk to them again. Like, it's not closure.
But do you think that's every situation? Because I feel like sometimes it's like you
Well,
want to
if
make
you-
sure that like it's what you think it is.
Or you want to. Well, I can see why you want to ask them. Like, if you want to go ask them something,
Yeah.
but like.
Like, because I would
Or-
say that,
or-
like, bringing it up and being like, this is how I feel about the situation. How does that make you feel? Like, or, like, just asking for them. Because maybe they didn't mean it like that. Or they have something deeper. But it's like, you know what I mean? That's why I like closure. Because it's like, I don't know if I'm thinking about this the wrong way.
I think that as you get older and you experience more things, I think you will have the ability to see your own faults. And if something doesn't work out with someone, I think that you need to grow and figure out what you did. Like, I don't think you can ask them and you can talk to them about it,
Mhm.
but I would expect you to just be able to figure it out. Because I'm looking back at my like relationships, and I'm like, yeah, I know what I did wrong. That's like, it ended because of me. It ended because I did this or whatever.
Right.
And I don't want I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear them say,
Yeah.
"You were shitty." Like, I don't want to hear that. Like,
Okay.
you know, like I know I was shitty. Like, that's
I just want to get over it then.
yeah.
Okay. I get that. Yeah, I can definitely tell when I do things wrong, or like when I get mad about things and then it's like later I think about it and it's like, I'm accountable to this because I like enabled it earlier on and then now it happened again and now it's just like I'm pissed off about it, but it's like, you know, it was my fault because I didn't really address it. So now I need to like, I don't know if to like bring up shit from the past because I feel like that's just petty. I feel like now it's just like if it happens again, then you like lay down the line and be like, okay, like whatever.
Well, you got to start with boundaries somewhere.
Right.
It's okay to lay them down late, like, or in response to something. That's okay. You
think so?
You can set a boundary. Yeah. Oh, it was okay last week. Well, now it's not. That's
Right,
It's
you
a
change.
boundary like that. Yeah.
Because boundaries are just like feelings on shit. It's not really.
Yeah, you're allowed to change your mind. So yeah, but just I would recommend acting like it's the first time. Don't act like it's those past times. Act like it's the first time. Be like, you know what? I don't think so about that. I don't like that.
Right. Because like then they just kind of feel like you're holding it in like resentment or shit.
Right. They're gonna. I would, when it comes to conflict, you never want to put something between the two of you that the other person can argue about, because I think it's just unnecessary. Like, you should just be open with them about like how you feel and the things that you're observing and yada yada.
I think that's my problem. I like to give the opportunity for argument because I want to be like I think it's like either proven right or wrong.
But I don't think argument creates truth. It determines who's good at arguing.
It doesn't really, yeah, you're right. Because it doesn't really, It doesn't really fucking, what do you call it? It just changes the sides or like the perspectives, or like it settles them in more.
Right.
It doesn't really get to like an objective truth.
Well, I think, especially when it comes to feelings, I think the idea of taking sides is wrong.
Right.
Like, I think that, God, I sound like some SJW or whatever, like, but when there's multiple voices, you recognize that there's multiple voices. You can't, the idea of taking side when it comes to two voices is, I think that's immoral. Like, you should always be open to any voice speaking the truth. And I think the point of, like, resolving something with, especially your partner, is just letting out your feelings. They let out their feelings. And, and I guess you could have a discussion after that. But, like, you need to both... everyone just needs their space to express their feelings. That's what they need.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it. I think I'm just bad at handling, like, shit that makes me feel uncomfortable. Or it's because I'm bad at recognizing it.
Or acting upon it.
Right. Both, I think.
Like setting that boundary. Well, like I said, you can set they can be set up late.
Right.
Or like, after, you know.
Yeah.
It happened before. Like, it's okay. All right, now it's not. I mean, I use that with, like, when I'm working with kids. I use that all the time. Well, so and so did it early. Well, now it's not okay. It doesn't. I saw what happened, and that's not okay. Like, so that's again, like, when it comes to, like, me and, like, a student, like, I never want to put something in between us that they can argue about, like a piece of evidence. Like, well, I saw this on the blah, 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 and then they get to argue about it. Like, no. I'm just going to say, hey, you hurt my feelings because you weren't doing good. I saw you doing bad. And I just wanted to talk to you about that. And, I mean, you know, that's how I'm going to communicate. I'm not going to tell them so-and-so told me. Or I'm not going to say, oh, it's on video. That
don't bring facts into it.
Yeah, no, I don't. The details do not matter. It's, we are in conflict now, and you owe me something. Like, you owe me an admission. You don't owe me an apology, but you got to say something. Say, you know, you got to say what you did. And, you know, if they tell me a lie, then I'm not going to argue with it. I'm just going to say, well, I'm disappointed. But I'm not going to argue. Be like, well, I saw you do it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. But yeah, like, that's also why I hate grades. Like, I don't like any kind of grade. 85,
yeah.
B+. I'm against grades.
Grades are stupid.
Yeah. It should just be majority pass, fail.
What does that mean?
Just either you pass the class or you fail. That's your grade. You get a P or an F. That's it.
Right, because, like, it doesn't... Not being able to pass one test this week doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to pass next month's test. Or whatever.
Right. Well, the other thing about grades is that, again, it's something to argue about. It's a thing that's come between us now, and now we get to argue about it. And I'm trying. I don't know.
It's a problem. Yeah, right. It's going to create a problem between, like, you and the student.
Right. They're going to say, well, you could round it up. You know, maybe it's a C+, maybe it's a B, or, you know. But to me, like the relationship between a teacher and a student is, I evaluate you when I'm done. Like, at the end of the class, I evaluate you. That's the final test. And it happens in my brain. I'm the teacher. And if you're an A student, I say you're an A student. And it doesn't matter what you got on the first test. Like, even if it added up to a C, I would say, no, they're an A student. If I saw that in you. If that's how I saw you as a student. So to me, that's how I don't care about grades. It's just... I have the final say. I'm the teacher. I have the final evaluation, and at the end of the class, I'm going to say what I feel about the students. Like, well, this student was a failure. They didn't go anywhere. They learned nothing.
Right.
You know?
I mean, I think that happens a lot, though. Like, a lot of people just copy, paste on things.
They
They
just put what they feel. Like, the teacher just puts, like, the grades that they
feel.
Like, yeah, I collected those tests. He can't argue about it. He got a 49 on that one.
No, I was gonna say, like, also student side. Like, I feel like a lot of people pass shit, but it's like they don't actually learn or anything. It's just like,
Mm.
and they're studying, which basically just means like read their book and then write it down on the paper. It's like it's just that, like they just copy and paste things from books on the paper and then they pass, and it's like,
Yeah, it's very
it's
very
not-
authoritative.
yeah, it's so stupid too. Like I think that's like a lot of the times now, like people want to grade a notes.
What?
Yeah, that hasn't happened to you in your school career.
Yikes!
Yeah, I got graded on notes before, like several times.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like several times it was like a part of the class where you had to take notes on something, and then if you didn't have the notes, then I don't know, it was like a bad grade.
One time I embarrassed myself. I said that I questioned what the professor had written on the board, and then I looked back at my notes, and he confirmed that I had written it down wrong.
Damn.
And it was just my fault. But it was like the longest freaking equation you've ever seen. It had like 80 parts to it. It was insane.
Oh yeah, those are annoying. Like so, it happens to me a lot. Like in algebra, I like mess that shit up all the time. I'll be like, oh, it wasn't 2 prime. And it's like that's
Where it's like a piece of dust that's on the paper, and you're like, why can't I figure this out?
Yeah, you're like fucking 75 minutes like looking at a fucking thing. It's like, bro.
I took really good math notes.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm kind of I'm a bit of a math nerd. Even
Oh,
though
really?
I
think I suck at math.
I'm against it. The idea of it.
Of what? Of math nerd?
Of just math. Like, I think math, like, people think math is real, and it's not real.
What does that mean?
It's a philosophy. It's
a philosophy of like.
I think when people talk about simulations, it pisses me off because if this was a fucking simulation, you would see crazy shit. Like there would be glitches. There would be double of something, or like the sky would turn a different color. Like
right.
We can't even make a video game right now that fully simulates the world. How would that? Anyway,
I think it's they're making an argument with like quantum computers.
What we don't even know what that is. The quantum computer is like a thing that they haven't invented yet.
Right.
It's like not even real yet.
But they're inventing it, so it's like an argument. So.
Oh my god. But I actually know a little bit about the quantum computer. Like, it's.
I don't think it's gonna.
It has to do with entanglement, quantum entanglement.
But wasn't entanglement like found out to be like it's not like a linear transmission of information, it's like a wavelength?
Well, I don't think there's any transmission of information. The information is like set until you look at it.
Right.
Like until you try to measure it, that's when you find out. But there's no actual transmission of information.
It just is information.
Yeah. Because in order for two things to become entangled, they have to be close to each other anyway. So if they drift apart and they move apart and we look at that, there's not a transmission of information because, well, they never moved it faster than the speed of light when they moved away from each other. They had to have been moving at a normal speed.
But their argument is like, what if one is moving at the speed of light and the other one isn't? Because
like, is there a transmission? Is there an exchange of information? I don't know. That would break physics. It would break.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I kind of let you go on about your argument of like math not being physics, because I think that like physics is based on math, and math doesn't make sense sometimes. So,
well, I would say physics isn't based on math. I would say that math is just a thing that lets us approximate, and it will never simulate.
Right.
It can approximate real things.
Right.
Never simulate. It's like the graphics in a video game. Like you can see the little squares. Like you can see the little fuzziness on the edges. It's never gonna be organic the way that.
I mean, but they're getting pretty close now. Like some late games.
I think. Show me a simulation of a river, and I will be impressed.
Okay.
Because I'm serious. Like the number of molecules in a river. Think about that.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
There's no way a computer program could do that.
It's the PS5 is doing some shit because they have like a polygon system, but it's like retarded. I don't know. It's like really crazy.
I'm sorry I'm going off about the math not being... Okay, I would just
Why
say...
are you sorry?
I would just say that I wanted to say earlier, physics is not based on math, it is based on observation. It's based on... I mean, that stupid story about the apple falling. Like, well, okay, what is that? That's not a math problem. That's just a thought problem. That's just a scientific problem. Like,
Right.
Why did the apple go towards the earth?
Right, it's
Or whatever
not like
Galileo was doing.
Galileo.
Rolling balls down hills. He was like playing pool. He was just like rolling balls, and there were other balls, and it was like, this one that's the same weight as this one, when it hits it, it stops, and the other one keeps going. What the hell is that about?
Right, it's just trying to figure out like why things happen.
Yeah. Or why does a 10-pound weight fall just as fast as this 15-pound weight?
Right.
I drop them off the tower, they both hit the ground at the same time. What?
Well, I think he was just experimenting with like how physics work on, like, and then trying to like write that down, and that's what the math was. But like,
Well, I mean, physics had like a crazy moment with relativity, and I think also with quantum. Like, quantum is like still pretty cool, but I don't know. It gets into some weird shit. It gets into that time shit, and it gets into like what you're talking about, like the transmission of information.
yeah, I mean,
faster than the speed of light.
I think what it is that like they did something. I think it was an experiment here on Earth where they had it. They had an entangled thing, and it was like they made it. It was miles apart, and I think it was like it was going to be different hours or different times on the clock, and they were both going to look at it on like at the same time or something.
Sure.
I don't know what the fuck the experiment was, but it was like they saw a thing, and they both like it was matching to what they were looking at. Like, one of them looked at it and it was like negative, and the other one looked at it and it was like positive.
Right.
But like I think what that was is that they were like trying to figure out if it would happen even if they were so far away. And it did happen. Like,
right.
But
that's what I was saying, is I think the information is already there.
yeah. Like, that's what I mean. Like, that's why I think that it's what I was saying, like a wavelength, because what they're saying is like when you look at it, it's undecided until you look at it, and then it's like decided. But I think it came out that instead of being a particle, it's like a wave. So like once one end gets affected, the entire thing, it's like connected. It's like a...
But wouldn't there be like time to take that wave? Wouldn't it take time for the wave to go?
But it's like it's not a transmission wave. Like, it's like a whole... So the whole thing happens at like once. It's like a big wave. So...
Okay. So it's just it's like universal.
I think so. I don't know, but it's like...
Or instantaneous.
Yeah, it's instantaneous because it's connected already. Like, the entanglement isn't entanglement between two particles. I think it's like two particles at the end of each that are like at the end of a wave, or like connected to the wave or something, or that they are a wave. It's just that they're viewed as particles. It was something along those lines, but
interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I can look that up, but I'm trying to find the river one. But this one's like of a truck going over a river.
I'm just saying, like, what I know about physics is, like, there's like 50 billion molecules in like a pond. Like, that you can't write a computer program that describes the movement of 50 billion molecules.
Yeah.
You would die before you finished writing that program.
I think what it is that they're making it write itself. Like, the chat... What is it called? Chat GPT, some bullshit. I don't know if it's going to work exactly because I don't have good internet over here for some reason. I try to put it on the highest settings, but... Do you have good internet over here?
Are you connected to my Wi-Fi?
No.
Okay.
Hold on. I can't find one of specifically a river because I don't think anybody just recorded a river, but like... I'll show you this one. It's like some sort of video game. Where it's like going over or whatever.
Fake as shit. I don't know. I'm kidding.
But I mean, like I think it's like a truck game. But the water looks pretty realistic, though. Like, obviously, it's not. You can tell it's fake, but.
I mean, I'm not gonna try to point out where it's wrong, but I just mean, I'm not looking for realism. I'm looking for, could that solve a real life problem? Could the program that wrote this river, could that program design a factory that had fluid going around and it knew what the fluid would do? Like, could it solve a problem?
No, yeah, you're right. That's too big because it would have to like account for the entire world, not just that river. Because
at least it would have to, like I said, it would have to account for every molecule. It would have to account for so many things.
Yeah,
that it just couldn't.
We just don't have. I think I don't think the problem is. Like, I think you're onto something, but I don't think the problem is about the computer not being able to work fast enough. Because you could design a computer to do math like that. Mm-hmm. Like, I was trying to write some shit in Python, and Python's pretty quick. Mm-hmm. Like, you can put some problems in there, and it's just like done. It writes down shit super fast. But I think the problem is we don't have enough memory for a computer like that.
Yeah, I think that's
because it's not just. I was thinking about it, and it's not just the world. You'd also have to account for the sun, shit that's in outer space, how the gravity affects both. You'd have to take into account the expansion of the universe. You'd have to have enough enough memory as the universe itself, and that's impossible because it's growing. So it's like.
Well, and think about also what about biology? What about how cells work? Can a computer program really do that? Or
I think that's actually easier.
I don't know. I feel like that would be everything wrapped up together. It's I don't know. Because this idea of math simulating life just
you can't simulate it mathematically. You're right.
Well, it also just, for me, it brings up the conversation of just what would qualify as real, or what would be life.
I think our interpretation is just wrong because I think people like to see life as something that's conscious, and I think that just eases their mind into what we're doing to everything that doesn't have consciousness, like trees or mushrooms, animals, pests. I'm sure. I don't think it's about consciousness. I think it's about feeling. But it's never accounted for. I think people like to think that if we encountered an alien race, we would be two races in the universe. I think it's more it's just going to be an alien animal, and then we're just going to ignore it and just kill it. Because we do that to our own animals. Our animals aren't not sentient. I don't think they're sentient is a. It should be a word, because I don't think it's they're not alive. They are alive. They just don't communicate the same way we do. They don't live on the same wavelength that we do. So we just kill them and then act like they're not intelligent.
And some of them are really close.
Yeah,
to us.
The magpie is smarter than us. The magpie knows how to do a bunch of shit. Our argument always was that we didn't have the biggest brain. What it was is we had the biggest brain I think it was ratioed brain to body, or brain to weight ratio.
Well, birds have really complicated brains.
Yeah, the magpie has a bigger brain, weight to brain weight ratio. They have a bigger brain relatively to us.
I've always heard though it's about the texture of the brain.
It's always some bullshit that they made up, make up.
But no, you want that's why the brain is so
wrinkly.
Is you want more surface area.
Yeah, it's that's why the joke is smooth brain.
Smooth brain, yeah. Because the magpies, they could be smooth brained. They could have big smooth brains.
Right.
But they don't.
They're really
creased.
Smart. Yeah. I don't. That's another thing. It's so crazy that a wrinkle in your brain, on some meat, is what
That's fucking weird, and that's you're processing images. I mean, some of it makes sense, but how does it totally make sense? I don't get.
I don't think it does. I don't.
Okay, your ear, your ear vibrates, and your brain is interpreting the sounds. okay, what the fuck is that? Like, what is the thing happening in my brain?
Yeah.
Like, why am I hearing
Yeah.
the thing that I'm hearing? Like,
Yeah, I think that's another problem that we have, is we think we're like really self-aware, but I don't think we're that self-aware.
No.
Like
we're just the most self-aware.
yeah, we're just the most self-aware, but like we're not entirely self-aware. Like we can figure out like that does this, so that means that, or when this
That's
that
math.
happens.
That's math.
Yeah, if this then that.
That's math. That's what that Python is about.
Yeah, and it's not about that, because
Right.
I see that happening a lot with like people, like when they judge each other. I'd say, for example, like they think that like because this person then this, and it's like that's not true. They can be both at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But like they don't understand that. And that's
Uh-huh.
like I think that's what happens when our brain, like a person can be like demented while also being like sentient. I don't know, like it's complicated. I don't think it's about like a objective thing, like just like the idea of your mind changing, of like just changing your mind on something should explain that, I think, because you're changing something that like isn't like a factual or physical thing or anything. It's just like it's just your feeling on something.
Well, the feeling always leaves a mark.
Right.
Like when you think about things, you always change them.
Right. And it's like, if you think about that a little bit more, it's like you're seeing something change because of itself. And because it thought of itself. You're seeing something change not because it was affected by anything that was physical, because it already was, but it felt a specific way about it.
Yeah.
But now that it reflects on it, it feels a different way. And it's like,
Huh? No, you're right.
That's the thing, being two things at the same time. Just because it happened at different times, like relatively, it doesn't mean that that thing turned into two different things at the same time. I mean, maybe it was like at 3 in the afternoon, and then at 5 he changed his mind about it. But if you look at it on like a faster spectrum, it was two things at the same time.
It's almost like we are physical beings, but like our consciousness
Isn't.
Yeah, it's like anti-physical.
Yeah.
Like it's meant to be
At a different spectrum or speed.
Yeah. It can't be understood physically.
Because it's not physical.
Yeah, or at least mathematically. It can't be understood mathematically.
Because mathematics is about, like what you said, it's like it's tied to physicality, and it's tied to consequence. When our consciousness isn't.
Well, but I would say that memory is kind of, it is of itself. Like
Right.
it does have a history, and it does.
Right, but that's
I think the math can't explain that. Like I don't think we can. I think we're limited in what we can understand.
right, which is what I was saying. Like you bring in memory into the ability to be like sentient or whatever, and it's like. That's what I was trying to tell people. Like that's what I was trying to bring up about like people not encountering animals, because they say like animals don't really have memory.
Yeah,
But that doesn't mean like they just operate on that different. They operate on a more complicated level that we do. Like we are the closest thing that is. We're actually what I think. Now that I think about it, we're the least evolved. And I know that sounds complicated, but it's because we're the ones that evolved like the closest to what our physical situation is. Animals operate on something that isn't physical, because when they have feelings about things, it's always like, how do I explain it? They don't operate at the same memory that we do.
They're always operating of the moment.
Yeah.
So they don't.
They don't have
do.
they don't have an idea of if this then that. They're the two things at the same time, all the time. So like that's what I mean. Like they operate on a higher level emotionally than. Damn. Now that I see what I mean, I just like It's hard to understand it.
Holy flapjacks. Holy helicopter.
What, holy helicopter. Yeah, that's the title of this episode. Did I break your brain? Was I?
No. Okay. I agree with what you're saying. Like, how smart are we that we're so evolved, but we're destroying the planet.
Yeah.
We're destroying ourselves.
Right. And it's for nothing, because people are like, oh, we're going to be civilized and we're going to do all this civilized shit. No, we're not. It's lucky we didn't die yet. Like, people think that, like, because we're so evolved right now, we're always going to be evolving. And it's like, we're probably just going to get smacked with a meteor and survive a little bit and then do it all over again. And we're never going to get out of the planet. I don't think so. I know it's pessimistic, but, like...
Well, yeah. I mean, who's to say that we're going to ascend, we're going to become gods or whatever? Like,
people like to just think that.
No, yeah, that's not going to happen. That's more of that, like, settler colonial crap.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the disease of our species.
Yeah.
It's like, white people came and just were like, oh, shit, we could just, like, break the rules.
Yeah.
And let's just commit atrocities.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah. And then people just think that we're, like...
did that.
You notice that, like, people like to be a part of society when it's talking about, like, it being great or whatever. But, like, whenever it does horrible shit, they're like, oh, I hate society. But it's like, they want to be part of society when it becomes, like, a type 3 civilization. But they don't want to be part of society when it does horrible shit. But it's like...
Yeah.
It's... I'm saying that because... they're not part of society. Society is, like, the 1% of rich people that decide what we do.
Right, yeah, they don't have control.
Yeah, and then...
No, yeah, most people don't.
People think that, like, because they are capable of doing... shit like computers and bringing technology to us or all this other shit that they could too, and it's like, no, you don't. Like, society.
No, they could.
I mean, like, unless they.
It's not provided by the 1% that we get all these things.
True, but like what I have.
But they didn't actually contribute to it.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, people saying. The population itself isn't really smart. Like, if you talk to a lot of people, they're all like dumb as fuck.
They don't understand. Yeah.
Like, it's only like
the internet.
Yeah, they don't understand, like, coding and I don't know, most sciences today. I don't understand half this shit. I don't even understand coding. Yeah. It's like your cat's scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah, to them they don't need to understand.
Yeah.
I think they, like we were talking about earlier before the recording, was I think that they do. The average person you talk to does understand their social role.
Right.
They understand, like, that like their great privilege or where they are, like, they understand where they are in the world.
Right.
So to them, like, technology and science, like, they don't need to understand that.
Right.
Like, that's, who cares?
Right. They don't.
Yeah.
But, like, they don't understand.
I go to Chili's.
Right.
I eat at Chili's.
I like to drink Starbucks in the morning.
Yeah, I wait in line for when I could just park and just go in.
Mm-hmm.
I wait in line for 30 minutes in the morning to get
like Starbucks. This happens to me all the time. I don't make problems about this because it's not that big a deal. But we have coffee at home, and it's like this really good coffee. And my girlfriend still wants to go to coffee shops. Like, it'll be like 3 p.m, and we're at home chilling. She's like, I want to go get coffee. I'm like, we have coffee here. Like,
the coffee at home.
Yeah, no, but it's good coffee. It's like this Vietnamese coffee that, like, comes in a can. I don't know. It's good. But I think she just likes to just go out and, like, whatever. And it's like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, she just wants to be seen. And
yeah. That's why I'm like, okay, whatever. We'll go get coffee. But it's like, that's what I mean, though. Like, people...
Coffee was always like, I'm not going to get any... I'm going to pretend I'm studying or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's I go to the coffee shop to, like, read 5 pages in a book and then get a headache and then...
Go home
like,
and get bored.
Yeah, and then, like, kind of stare off and, like, accidentally stare at a woman and like, okay, I gotta leave now. That's what a coffee shop is to me. And then, yeah, like, at first I pretend I was reading my book, and then it's like, okay, she's not buying it.
Yes, no. Oh, what are you doing?
Oh, the belly needs to be protected. It needs to be protected. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, look.
She's every color.
She's what?
She's every color. She's gray, brown, white, black. There's some orange.
I saw a meme that was like people, when they talk about their dogs, it's like, oh, I have a boxer. Oh, I have an English bulldog. And then the other one's like, oh, what kind of cat do you have? Orange.
Orange. She's like some kind of, like, it's like long-haired Asian or something. There's like a few cats. There's like a dozen kinds of cats, I think. There's like a Persian
The
cat.
only one that I know distinctly is that one that's like bald.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what that's called, but
They made a new cat, you know?
what it's called.
Like they made
Allogenic.
they breeded a new cat though.
Whoa.
It's kind of horrible, but it's also really cute. So I don't know how to feel about it.
It looks like Pikachu.
No, it's a cat with like short legs.
What? Why?
Yeah. Because it's really cute.
That's
but
why.
but it's because like people. That's what I mean. People don't see animals as being like living things. They just see it as like I'm more evolved than you. It's like no, you're not. That cat has like more complicated way of living than you do. Like
Yeah, it's funny that like it is kind of funny that we've bred like certain like dog breeds like are like fatal.
Disabled.
Like yeah. like they can't even breathe out their nose.
yeah.
I gotta use the restroom.
Oh, hold on. Well, while you do that, I'm gonna look up the cat.
Okay.
You want to pause the recording?
I'll just cut it out.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, guys. You're just here with me now. I'm gonna look at this shorty. No, not shorty. Short cat breed. The Munchkin cat. That's what it's called. This poor little thing. It's super short. It's really cute though. But they're so cute. Okay, I see why they did it. It's just a little midget cat. It's so cute. But it's horrible. Because it kind of just describes how I feel that we feel about animals. It's kind of like evidence. We just have them as... The first thing is Munchkin cat cute. It's like, see what I mean? This describes how I think we think about animals. But look, it's just like short-legged.
We are the people of the Kitty Cat Guild. The Kitty Cat Guild.
Hold on, there's one.
You know
I agree that it's really cute and all, but...
Isn't that from Wizard of Oz? The Munchkins?
The Munchkins? I don't know. Hold on, I'm trying to find that one picture that I really liked. Where'd it go? That was a really cute one.
Munchkin. I don't munch my kin too much around here.
Well, you can just look at them, I guess.
I reckon that he might be one of them munchkins. He likes to munch on his kin, if you know what I mean. Why?
Because it was like a lot of them. It came popular like recently
This is the opposite.
because it was like a little deformed cat, and then people like it blew up on the internet, and then now it's a thing.
What animal, no matter how unsafe, would you want to be friends with? Like, let's say it was safe.
Well, animals that's like really unsafe, I want to be friends with.
It doesn't have to be unsafe, but like if it's, if you're worried about it ripping your face off, it won't. So chimpanzee, go. You're ready to go with the chimpanzee. Might kill your loved ones, but not you.
Okay, then I don't know. Like chimpanzee, I just like they just scare me. Like I don't know. I think I'd just be uncomfortable with the chimpanzee.
You should be.
Yeah, I'd just be scared of it. I'd be like, I don't know.
They're basically like a weightlifting toddler.
Uh-huh.
Like that's.
It's like you won't give me cake. I'm fucking rip your dick off. Like,
or just I'm bored. Rip your dick off.
yeah.
Just like in one grab, like one movement, your dick is gone.
Like some super powerful anime characters. No, I don't know, man. I don't think I can do chimpanzees. I think even if it didn't kill me, I'd just feel bad because I wouldn't give it any like close attention. I'd just be like 10 feet away from it, like throwing bananas at it.
What animal do you want?
I like snakes. I think some snakes are cute sometimes.
Snakes are. I lived with a snake. My roommate had a snake, and we would let it roam around sometimes. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snakes are cool.
I would play Halo with it around my neck.
That's cool as shit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that sounds dope. I like snakes.
They're surprisingly personable.
What's
snakes.
personable?
Like they have personality. Like,
Oh, yeah?
and they recognize you. And yeah, they're
Oh, pretty cool.
yeah. And you can like socialize them. You can make them used to people.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah.
That's cool. I like snakes. I don't know what else. What else?
They like the closet. You would go into the closet a lot.
Why?
They just look like a hole, I guess. Just like, that's where they go. They just go to a hole in the ground and wait.
Finding comfort in that.
Yeah, just look.
Is there
Yes. Yes.
There's a hole.
And now I can turn this way and I can see anything coming.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Snake's good. You could like ride it into battle.
To scare the shit out of
It
people.
could fight things for you.
Yeah. Just poison everything. Everybody has diarrhea.
Ooh, that's a good twist. A venomous snake. Okay.
Nah, I don't think I'd get a poisonous one. I think I just want like, there's like a sand snake. It's like brown.
Uh-huh.
And they're really playful.
Okay.
They're like lively. What else? I don't think I like spiders. I don't think I like
So
spiders.
you wouldn't have a spider.
Yeah.
Like a cool ass tarantula that could like come up on like sit on your shoulder.
I mean, I think I see myself being friendly with one. I see myself being like, if it starts crawling on me, I'm like, Bob, get the fuck out. But like, kill.
Yeah. Just concussions. That's like falling off of like a 2-story building.
For the
Just, like,
thing.
being punched off.
No,
Spiders have weird blood. They have we have iron in our blood and they have copper instead of iron.
well, what does their blood look like?
I think it is a different color. I think it's more like bluish.
Yeah, I thought it was blue.
Yeah. But that's copper for you. It'll go blue on you.
And got blue. I don't know. I don't think I like. I don't think I like tarantulas just because they're like. It reminds me of like. Well, it doesn't remind me, but like when I think about it, like when you think about somebody killing a tarantula, it's kind of like an insect dying, but it's also an animal. So like you hear the whole thing crunch.
They're smart.
Yeah.
They're definitely smarter than insects.
Yeah,
They're like the birds of the insects.
they're like the birds of the insects. Probably they take advantage of all of them, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't like the idea of a tarantula getting crushed. Like it's like.
Sounds like inhumane.
Yeah, like I don't think I would be able to do that. Like I think like somebody wanted me to kill a tarantula, I'd be like, I'd shoot it with a gun.
I would, yeah. So you couldn't see it anymore.
Yeah, no.
Just turn into a cloud.
Like I just don't see myself capable of stomping on it. You got like a fucking like what are those like 50 cal snipers? You just like put it right in front of the snake.
The weird
Like here's a snake and you like tap it with just blow it to the ground.
God, yeah. That happened. I read a book that happened in a book with a cat that I read recently.
What happened?
The guy he took a gun and he aimed it at a cat, and in the book it said it wasn't there anymore. It just
Oh
disappeared.
no. He just shot the
Yeah.
cat and it just poofed.
It just fucking just turned into red mist.
Oh no.
It's called Blood Meridian. It's
What the fuck?
It's good for the kids.
Good for the kids.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
100%.
Just put it on and let your kid listen to it.
No.
Let them fall asleep to Blood Meridian.
And the next thing you know, they're like fucking testing guns on animals and shit. Which one makes which one poof?
Play this for your baby. It's Baby Einstein. It's just like guns going off. Like it's like
America.
It's like algebraic equations for a couple seconds, and then when the parent leaves the room, it's just like murder, pow, pow, just like guns going off. Be a murderer.
Murder, destroy, take.
The parent comes back in. It goes back to like Mozart. It's like baby's learning.
No.
I say, I'm going to kill you, Lois.
That's such a... What is that joke? I don't like... where did that come from? Just making Stewie
I
like
don't know.
accented and murderous.
I don't know. I
Like
don't
that's
know
such
where
a
that comes from.
random joke to make.
I think Seth MacFarlane just had another voice. Like he was just like,
He just had another voice.
I'm doing this voice now. I'm a gay British man.
I'd say though that's like the most
Gay Englishman.
that's the most cartoon thing ever though. Like I like it when people do like dumb shit like that. Like
Like the neighbor, like the old neighbor, like the pervy old guy that likes Chris.
yeah, when
They always
do
whistle.
dumb
He's
shit like that.
Hey, Chris.
Like that just sounds like when I make a character. Like I'll draw something and I'll be like, I'll give them a couple personality traits, and then that's just like their biggest thing. But I saw like the new Minions movie. That's what I was gonna bring up. Like there's like this death squad of supervillains or whatever, and one of them is a nun that has nunchucks, and her name is Nunchuck.
Oh.
And it's like
Her
just
name
funny.
should be Charlie.
But it's so funny because there's like a scene where like they come and then I think they abduct a character and they destroy the house. Like they come through the roof, like they destroy everything, and then when they leave, they all leave through the roof. But the nunchuck, she just starts praying, and then like God, like
she has God on her side. She's an assassin.
Like she just goes like this, and like she like prays, and she goes like this, and like you see like the heavenly light, and like the music just like takes her up in the sky.
You know, I actually like that idea of like you can be a bad person, but if you just like learn the right things, you can get godlike powers.
Yeah.
Like, you could just, but like you don't have to be a good person.
Yeah,
to
that's
get
just
the powers.
That's just politics now.
Yeah.
But dude, that like just dumb shit like that just makes me laugh so much. It's like I love it when people just do crazy characters and do stupid shit for no reason.
There should have been like air traffic control at the Vatican. Like there should have been like a big board and like something lights up and they're like, she's clear to go, and then she gets taken. Like someone at the Vatican's like directing everything.
It's like molesting children.
There's a board that with 5 million lights on it. They're all lit up, and it's like the molestation board. Like, going good. It's going perfectly.
Rack up the numbers, guys.
Oh shit!
There's like a freaking there's like pictures on the wall of like the most molesting priest.
I thought you were gonna say the kids that got molested.
No. Like there's like a trophy room, but it's like
Oh god.
yeah, it could be those two. It'd be like it'd just be like it'd be like this guy got Jimmy, and it's like Jimmy's been like.
There's like a 29-year-old guy that's still being molested. He's just one of the kids grown up, and he's still being molested. He's
No.
like, it's the church. I go to church. It's part of my family.
No.
The priest is still.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
damn it, dude.
I thought something. Oh yeah, like, hey kids, there's a new priest coming into town. He had some issues with the last church, but he's starting fresh here.
No.
That's how they did it.
That's
It's
just like
like-
every friggin' church. That's just every church ever, dude.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
It's just like this one has a bigger dick. Or it'd be smaller. That would be better for the kids. This one's smaller dick.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. The Pope's like, we need to ease up on them in Sector 2. They've been molested enough over in Boston, you know.
No, bro. Dude, god damn it.
Kansas City numbers are up.
But it's like it's funny because like everybody knows this joke, but like very like little people are aware that like how real it is. Like pretty much like 75% of priests that you know are like probably child molesters or some sort of weird sexually restrained dude.
Weird.
Like I don't know. I don't bring this up because we like it'd probably be weird, but I did like Francisco, for example. What happened there?
It's still recording.
Oh,
I don't know what happened. Siri, stop all apps. Okay.
stop all spyware. But,
Kill the CIA guy that's listening to this.
Like his gun pulls out a phone. Like, no wait, I said it wrong. His phone pulls out a gun.
Oh man,
his gun pulls out a phone.
Damn it! I shouldn't have installed that gun app.
It's like the gun app was like to kill black people on command. Like it's connected to the camera.
It was so my fingerprints wouldn't be on the gun. It would be that the phone shot the suspect.
That's why that new law passed in California to get like automated, like you know how they make armed robots with guns.
Oh yeah.
That's what they meant.
Chappie's killing us.
That's what they meant. Like they just put like a camera and a gun on a person. It's like anytime the
Wally.
camera just sees any black person, it just goes out.
Charged with crime later. Hostile force detected.
Bro. Oh my god.
No, they can't even like see black people on those things. Like the AI, like the people who made like facial recognition, they forgot like who they forgot black people existed.
Oh.
So like a lot of like facial recognition like doesn't work. But that would just be an excuse to say that you look like the suspect. It would just be
it was just on purpose.
You look like every other black person. You are under arrest. You fit the description. It's just like a 8-year-old girl.
You look like Tupac and then like arrested.
Armed robbery.
Dude, I feel like that would happen though. Like, they just start arresting black people that look like other black criminals, but that were like dead already.
Oh wait, we already killed Tupac. You couldn't be Tupac. We killed him. The police. We killed Tupac.
And then it's like, error. Just starts shooting all the.
Paradox solved. How could there be a guy that looks like Tupac when Tupac is dead? How could there be a guy?
Just kills everybody.
Oh my god,
dude.
Yeah, the police are just like watching from like down the block. They're like, this is going great.
They send in the fucking Roomba. It's like
that cleans everyone up.
No, bro. Just like starts dragging the ball.
All right. I think that's a good place to stop.
You think so? How should we end it though? I think abruptly ending it is okay. So what do we call this? Holy what? Holy helicopter.
Holy helicopter. Yeah, that's what the nunchuck.
Yeah,
nun.
I think anybody that's seen that movie would know what I'm talking about. That scene was so hilarious.
Minions changed my gender.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they keep putting gay stuff in the like they did. I don't know what, but I remember they did another. Yeah, like every time you like see Minions, there's always like in the crowd. There's always like some of them doing something gay.
At what like I don't want to see this, but like what timestamps?
I can just show you a compilation.
I want to avoid those parts of the movie.
Oh, you want to avoid those parts?
I don't want to watch them.
Oh, okay, got it. Like I don't know. Like I remember there was one where it's like some characters passed like a room, and there was like some minions in a bed, but it was like the minions had like bunk beds, and it was like one minion gets up, and then he's like looking at the characters walking by because they like wake him up, and then you see another minion like get up in the bed and like, and then it's like I don't know, it's just like things
maybe
like
they
that.
Were 69ing.
Yeah, it's just like things like that where it's just like some of them like literally kiss each other and like
are
big
they
scenes.
But are they gendered?
I don't think they're gendered. I think they're like genderless, but they're kind of more like what they want to be. I don't think they have a gender. I think they're
free.
Yeah,
they're totally free.
Yeah, they don't have a gender. I think it's like some of them act like dudes, some of them just dress like a girl, but it doesn't even change anything because they don't have like.
They don't have junk.
Yeah. So it's weird.
There's that speech from you ever see Donnie Darko? There's that speech where Jake Gyllenhaal talks about being a Smurf, and how like you're a Smurf, you don't have a dick, like you don't have gender. The minions, like, what would be the point of life?
Yeah,
if you didn't like what. And how do they reproduce? Like what
I think they make other ones like out of clay or something.
Them?
Don't they make them out of clay or something?
So they're like immortal?
I think so.
Huh. I'm learning a lot of Minion lore, and it's actually changing my gender back to what it was before the movie. Because Kate Winslet turned me into a man when I watched Titanic.
Right.
And as did that other movie I mentioned also.
Which one was
also, I don't remember.
Me.
You said something about Wolf
I think it was
Wall
Spider-Man.
Street.
Spider-Man.
Oh, yes, Kirsten Dunst and Spider... Just look up the raining scene in Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire.
I've seen it. I remember.
Oh.
I don't remember being that great, though.
Yeah, that first movie?
I remember, you know who was really hot? Scarlett Johansson. And her Black Widow stuff.
I want her to scissor my face the way she fights every man. She always gets...
It's like, oh, knock me out next.
Wraps their thighs. Yeah, just like, I'm a bad
guy! Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, no, she's really hot, too.
Yeah, I mean, she's hot. Like, yeah, she's hot.
But what were we talking about? Now I forgot. We're supposed to end the episode.
Minions. We were talking about Minions and how hot they are.
Yeah. Some of them, some of them, like, dress like girls all the time. Like, it happens a lot in the movie. In the movies. It happens in, like, every single movie where, like, one minion will just, like, dress like a girl.
But I guess it's supposed to be funny because, like, we assume that they're male.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they seem to be male.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, like, the funny part, is that they're just, like, a female.
I don't know. It's not really even funny. It's kind of just, like, okay. Like, all right, I guess.
Didn't I show you that one with, like, the minion wearing the thong?
I don't remember,
like,
but
was that in that movie? There's, like, wasn't there a minion wearing a thong at one point? Like, maybe for, like, half a second.
Probably. I think there was.
They're, like, walking down a hallway. And
probably. Why do we always end up talking about Minions, dude?
We have not been talking about Minions.
Well, if we have talked about it on another podcast, I think we have. So that's like 2 or 3 times in a row that we just talk about Minions somehow.
I don't know. You brought it up this time.
Yeah, I did.
I'm interested in their gender. I'm interested in how they express their gender. These are, of course, 2 different things.
I think...
Their gender identity and their expression of their gender. It's 2 different things.
Got it.
Okay, get woke.
All right. I'm on it.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
You're going to get canceled.
I just, okay, does it affect the gender if the gender expression itself is toxic?
Whoa!
Okay, that's a math question, but it's a math argument, so...
Toxic. I don't know. I do think that toxic men are like mostly secretly gay or some shit like that. Sure. Like if you're a piece of shit man, you have a lot of like psychosexual shit that's going on.
Yeah, that happens with the.
You're like the turtles said that my mom was bad, and then that's their thoughts. Is like that's what their sexuality comes from. It's like just the most insane shit that is like these men don't even know if they're men.
Yeah, they don't understand anything anymore. They're burnt.
Like a guy that like attacks a woman like in a gym. Mm-hmm. And you saw that video?
No, I didn't.
Oh, this woman like let this guy in. She'd seen him around before. She let him in, and then he attacks her while she's trying to work out. And she fought him off, so that was
for her.
Yeah, good for her.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
But like a guy that like thinks that's okay, like gets into that mindset. It's just like he's like, the dog opened the back door, and then mom's mad. That's his like, like whatever he thinks he's a man or whatever he thinks his sexuality is.
It's like all depending on some like really fucked up like situation that
happened. Yeah, it's like a Jenga tower that someone could just knock over.
Jesus
is your psychology.
Jesus Christ. I'm like thinking now, is that me? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, don't jump a woman at a gym.
No, obviously not. I don't think I do remember though. Like I was gonna say, like I do remember growing up. Like I grew up in a house of women. And they always like made sure that I understood that it was never okay for me to hit a woman. Like, or I don't, whatever your opinion is on that. That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, whatever. But I do remember ending up like fighting my sisters anyway because they would just beat the shit out of me because I was like 8 and they were like 13 and they were like mad at me for some reason, and then they would just beat the shit out of me. But I do remember that like always did stick with me though. Like I do never like get aggressive with like any female. But I don't know if that's just because I was raised up right or if I'm just not an asshole. I don't know.
You're just not an asshole.
Yeah, I don't think I was raised up right. I think I'm like barely there.
Well, you are who you are, but you're not an asshole.
Yeah, thanks. But shit.
You're welcome.
Keep losing track. Huh? I was just saying. I was asking that question because I see now a lot of people. They change their gender for toxic reasons.
I find that like people change their gender and they're still the same toxic person that they were before.
Well, that's how it starts usually. Like they're toxic and then they react to something.
Yeah.
What's the word?
Toxically?
Yeah, toxically.
Toxicologically.
I was gonna say toxoactively. I didn't even know.
Toxoactively. It sounds.
I'm coining it. That's my word now.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Look out.
Gets murdered by some like 40-year-old white guy. It's like writing it down.
You're telling a cop, you're like, I invented a word actually. They just kill you. You're like, oh, can't have that.
What the fuck is that?
Actually, I invented it. And you're dead now.
Yeah, no. Okay, so anybody that like reacts, I don't want to get into any specific examples because these are real people that I know. But let's say a person has a bad relationship with the opposite gender. The gender mistreats, sexually abuses, and misviews the person, making that person reject their own gender out of protest for only being viewed because of their gender and how that may be.
So they're male to female.
Female to male.
Wow, okay. I got that completely wrong.
Yeah, they got basically used only for their gender.
Uh-huh.
And now they reject their gender because they want to feel more than that. They want to feel like people view them outside of their gender. And now they went male, but that's all they advertise anyway. Like, they want to be viewed outside their gender, but that's, like, kind of what their personality comes from. Anyway, like, they only talk about...
Like, they basically still present as, like, feminine.
They do, yes. They still present as feminine, and it confuses me a lot. Yeah, like, all the time. When I struggle with it, but, like, I try to be as respectful as I can about it.
Right.
But the thing is, like... That's what I mean, though. Their gender expression should change. If they say so. Like, I think if somebody wants to change their gender expression, that's fine. But, like, you have to go through with it. You can't just be like, I'm a guy now, but you also act like a girl. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's an offensive statement, but what I mean by that is just being very...
I don't know, man.
I don't know. All this is really confusing and it's breaking my head. But all I mean is, like, they come off as feminine. And you would think that they are feminine until they say they're not. And then you're like, what? And then they explain it. But the thing is that they only talk about, and they really defend their new gender. So, like, that's, like, something that they want that to be one of the main things that you know about them. Like, when you meet somebody, their gender is, like, irrelevant to that person. Now,
right.
It's, like, part of the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it's important that you know it. And that's what I mean. Like, she wanted to be viewed outside their gender, or he, sorry. But now it's all they present. So it's kind of going full circle. And that's what I mean. Like, should it be, like, even, like, paid attention to when somebody does something like that? Because they're reacting to something toxoactively.
I don't know if, like, it depends on if, like you said, is it toxic? Like, are they being toxic? Then that's the problem. I don't think the problem is inherently gender based, but like,
it's not. But
it
that's
sounds
what
like
I
the
mean.
person is just kind of toxic.
It's not. Yeah, you're right.
Like,
That's what I mean.
Because I knew someone like that. I knew someone that was male to female, but they were still shitty towards women.
Right.
They were a man and they treated women badly.
Right.
And then they became a woman and they still treated women badly.
Right. I think that she would still treat. She kind of does. She was kind of like a butthole to me, or he. Sorry, goddamn. See what I mean? It's just confusing me because it's in my head, not because of what she presented, but how she just her demeanor,
That's
and
why
how she acts is like it's super feminine. So like I pick it up as feminine.
Right.
So like in my head, that's how
You're
I think
not able
about
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't see that as like a male energy or whatever.
Ooh, talking about energies, you sound very feminine right now. I'm confused about your gender.
Okay, listen. My horoscope says, no, I'm just kidding.
Now you're like you're limp. Your wrist is very limp, and for some reason you're wearing a deep V-neck that goes down to your like belly button.
It just like goes. It just like goes forever. Like,
yeah, it's just down to your crotch. Like you just have a sling bikini.
It's just this like it's slit. Like it's right there. You're trying to. No.
Yeah, it's interesting that you became gay in front of my eyes.
Just like transforms, like a Power Ranger move, just like spins in a circle.
That's how it happens.
Yeah,
that's how it happens. Yeah,
but that's what I mean. Like I don't think it's
movie. That's how it happened.
See, you're the one that brings the minions. I brought the nunchuck. I brought up the nunchuck. You brought up the minions.
Okay. You're right. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's hilarious. But you got something going on with the minions, man. I like walk into your room. You have like a poster of like a minion that's like in a thaw.
Yeah, suggestively looking back.
No, bro. Jesus Christ. What are you thinking about now?
No, I was thinking of like photoshopped minion porn. Just like real human
I bet you there is
fucking
that. No,
like a minion face.
Or they're just like painted yellow with like
they're
a
like
jumpsuit
Simpsons
on.
Characters. Oh my god.
No, bro, Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry.
I forgot what I was talking about now.
Well, it just sounds like your friend is toxic. It just sounds like.
But this is what I was gonna say is that I wanted to just bring them up because I feel like this happens a lot now. Like a lot of the movement is just people that don't accept their gender because of shit that's happened to them, and now they want to change it, but not because they want that, like that. Not because that's what they objectively necessarily want. Like that was an idea that they had from the start. That's just like a consequential thing because of something that happened, and it's like, should that be represented and viewed, or should that be, what's the word? Treated. Because I think that should be treated. Like when I see this person, like I genuinely feel like they need help and like a way of better understanding themselves, and like to reflect on what they're actually doing, because they want to go with like surgeries later on in their life. They want to take like testosterone and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do it and then they change their mind, like let's say they do like do it on their own, like they reflect on their own and they realize what they're doing is toxic, they're gonna be like, oh fuck, well I already did a surgery and now I'm fucked. Like,
I mean, that's that person's journey. Whether they're gonna.
Yeah, I'm not anybody to.
I'm not sure how I feel about the phrase like treating them, because it doesn't sound consensual. Like,
true. But it's
I
like
guess if that person's gonna mess themselves up, then that's what they're gonna do.
But it's like, well, my argument is like, well, should you treat like people that are like trying to kill themselves? Like, should you just ignore that and be like, oh,
that's
well,
different. That's different.
Well, it happens a lot in the situation where they do this, they ruin their body, and then they regret it, and then they just kill themselves.
I do think that like, I think the surgery thing is like, what do you call it? A misstep?
Yeah.
Not a mistake, but like it's
It's too available. Like, it's...
Well, people are, like, addicted to it. That's what I'm trying to say. Is like, it's an option that people think is going to solve a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't solve a problem.
It doesn't do anything.
So, I mean, it's going to make you as happy as you think it's going to make you. But the actual surgery does not do anything. Like, it's just... Isn't it just cosmetic? Right. And all the genitalia shit is, like... there's, like, 30 doctors, and, like, they all do it differently. Like, the way they do gender affirmation for genitalia is like it's different for every doctor. Like they all have different ideas as to like what
it should look like, what it should do.
Yeah, how to do it.
Right.
So it's not a regulated thing.
It's not.
Like you can't just get. Well, it's kind of like but like isn't that a bigger problem with like the BBLs and like putting shit in your lips, the collagen and
right.
Like, and
the thing is, nobody really cares. Like, nobody really cares about those people because, like,
But those people also run risks. Like they also can die and can have like medical problems because of like those bullshit surgeries.
Yeah, just dumb shit. But it's just people don't pay attention to those things or things like that because usually the people that it happens to is just like some rich person. So it's like, oh, boo-hoo, your boobs got bigger because you wanted it to, and now you regret it.
Well,
I
think it's also we see like a moral failing in that person.
Yeah.
We think of it as like
like
you're trying to
be something that you're not.
Yeah.
And then, so it's like rejected and be like, oh, that's your fault. The problem with it is like you can probably blame that person because they're like an adult and the way that they're acting is like obviously toxic because that's a like much easier thing to view as like you're trying to be something that you're not. That's the like it's that simple, right? But once it comes to gender, it's like an explosion of new questions and it's like really complicated to even be like deciding on that. But the thing is that it's happening to like a lot of kids, and what I mean by treated is like the way that people view it socially. Because now how view it socially is just like ignore it, just it's something that's out of your control, and it's like sure that's fine, but people are starting to accept these kids that are like 16 years old cutting their dicks off and then killing themselves at 20 because they.
I think that's a small number. That's like a really small number.
But it's like it's.
But okay, let me say this: we already constructivism is the like most widely accepted explanation of gender.
What's constructivism?
Constructivism is there is no such thing as gender. It is only something that is socially constructed.
True.
We can say that people have very different genitalia, but there's also a lot of people with similar genitalia. If we're going to be honest, there's some ambiguous. There's some ambiguity to some of the genitalia. So like even to say that doesn't necessarily like to look at people's junk. That's not even conclusive to say, oh, there's two genders. I mean, it's still a lot of it looks kind of similar. Some people have ambiguous genitalia. Some people have both genitalia. So to say, oh, there's two genders, I don't see the evidence. So constructivism is the idea that it's just a social thing.
True.
Like, and so to say that we're socializing transgender kids, but not hetero kids, but not these other kids. We're socializing all kids to be their gender, and it's weird. I find it weird. Like I don't talk to a little kid about their gender. Oh, you're gonna get married, and oh, are you a princess? Or I don't care. Like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that much of a big deal. But
so
the problem is that it is, and that it's like.
There is pressure, and that's why those people kill themselves. Like, but I think the pressure is coming from like everywhere. Like, it's not just the pressure on transgender people; it's also the pressure on boys and girls. Like, act like a boy, act like a girl.
Right. It's like a social like responsibility. It's like, oh, you're a guy, so you need to take care of your whole family, or like you should be the one doing this or that, or like you're a girl, so you should be like cleaning and cooking and things like that.
Right. You do the stuff while the men do the other stuff.
Yeah, like, oh, you're a guy, take out the trash, like, shit like that.
Yeah. Don't express your feelings. Be really
mean to
moody. Yeah, be really grouchy.
Yeah.
Yell at the sports game.
I fucking, bro.
You bastard! You bastard!
Well, you know how the Chiefs won recently? Like, you remember how I live downtown?
Oh God!
That it sucked to get home, bro. It was just drunk people everywhere. Everybody was like it was non-existent traffic, but it was traffic. Like, there wasn't anything wrong. People just didn't want to move their car, and were just like, they were all, anybody that had a sunroof was out on the sunroof and going all crazy shit. And there was one car that passed us, and there was like just a bunch of like drunk girls like flopping over outside of the sunroof. And it's like, gee, what the fuck? Like, and you to think about, like, this doesn't affect them in any physical or immediate way or anything. It's just something that happened that your team, I guess the team that you like, won, but like, it doesn't affect you in any way at all, but you guys are making it a physical consequence to everybody in the city that lives here, because most people that were there don't live there. Like, I know because I live there, and there's not that much people outside on the regular. Like,
those people are from the suburbs.
Yeah, those people just came from wherever, flooded our entire fucking like place we live, and just partied hard, crazy. Like, there was firefighters outside, there was police everywhere. There was fucking. I saw one guy who was in like his underwear, like skipping down the street, like literally, like it's like, dude.
These people must have money on the game.
Yeah, they have
must
money,
be gambling
or something, or like it's just an excuse for them to just go crazy, because like none of them fucking live there, and I know because like all my neighbors were like in their apartment. Only like one of them came back late, but it was like, I don't know, like people that live there know not to like trash the street, because later it's gonna be shitty.
I heard it put really well is that like the part of the fantasy of like especially Americans watching sports, especially football, our favorite sport, the average watcher wants to be the coach or the owner of the team. They don't want to be
the player.
Yeah, they don't care about the players. They want to be like, I'm the smart guy that put this stuff together,
right? And
I call the plays. That's who they relate to. So like, yeah, we won. You didn't do anything,
right? But same it's like they view themselves as like making the good choice or whatever.
Yeah, like I would have done that. Yeah, I would have hired Patrick Mahomes.
He's a good guy.
Yeah,
no.
I would have done that. I'm the manager. I make the decision. I'm the decider.
Yeah, it really does come down to like commentary mindset type shit on the. Like, where they, like, think that they understand all the plays and all the things that are happening and all the things that are, like, it's raining, so the grass is slippery, so that's why he slipped this way, and that's why he had a counter with a backspin and throw the ball, and since he turned to the left and not to his right.
And he definitely didn't get lucky as fuck.
Yeah.
When that guy dropped it and whatever.
It's just, like, that's not how it is. Like, if you're ever, like, okay, sure, that's how it is, but, like, if you're ever in like an actual game, everything's like very reactive and not really planned. Like, sure, you can have like a general idea with the team, but
it's kind of like a work of art. Like you just have to experience the whole thing.
Yeah,
like you can't read a summary of the game.
Yeah,
like that doesn't actually tell you what happened.
Yeah,
like maybe the quarterback lost his confidence. Like maybe something happened.
Yeah,
and he wasn't the same for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and then he couldn't play, or like, you know, it's not really all about the stats and the numbers. And
again, more math.
Yeah.
More math to understand something less.
Yeah.
We use a bunch of math in
I
sports.
think that's what it is. It's like people see shit that they don't understand and they want to find some comfort in it, so they use math to be like, I understand this and I know what's going on, so they feel more like secure about the situation. Because I think a lot of people struggle with like not knowing where they are or how things are going to go, but they like tell themselves that they do because of some math. And it's like, yeah, you never really know, regardless of the numbers adding up.
Right.
Because it's not like like what I was saying, it's not a full equation, because you got to account for like everything in the universe.
You're right, brother. You're right about that. There's this thing called incompleteness. Like it's a theorem in math. It's called the incompleteness theorem, and it just means it was a German guy came up with it, and it just means that math can never be fully comprehensible. It is always flawed. You can write the best math in the world, but it will always start with an assumption. And that assumption is the flaw. You make a connection that you feel like making, and then the rest of math is it does look very real. It is very close to reality. But that first assumption that you make is the flaw.
Right.
It's always there. And no one's ever been able to address the incompleteness theorem. It's just
but like I was saying, I think it's a problem of not having enough memory. Because like if you think
if
about
we connected all the computers on the Earth,
or just
to one big computer.
The way that I was thinking about it is like an assumption that I had when you said assumption was like, I don't know, 1 orange plus 1 orange that equals 2 oranges. Like that's an assumption, just because like they're probably not the same weight, they probably don't have the same molecules or whatever.
And with math, you can make something crazy happen. You can be like, well, what about 0.99 oranges plus 0.99 oranges? Is that 2?
Yeah.
It's close to 2. Is it 2? Like you could like, there's fuzziness to math.
Like decimals kind of.
Yeah, fraction like that, like, and then you could talk about like imaginary numbers. Like, do we have an imaginary number of oranges? Can we add that to a real number?
Yeah. It's a very theoretical.
Like, think about this. The number pi.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going with decimal. Like it's just
like you can't write it down.
Yeah.
It never ends. So it literally. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
The physical world doesn't work in math. Circles exist in the real world. Math tries to say something about it, and it ends up with this crazy long decimal that it can't write down.
Yeah.
What's a circle? Well, 3.1, and it just keeps going. You can't actually. You have to estimate it.
Yeah.
Like,
you can't say what it is.
Like, I would say pi is a real thing. Like, when I say that math isn't real, I'd say pi is real. Pi is a real thing. That's just a description of the diameter ratio of the diameter to the circumference of a circle. That's pi. If you draw a circle, the diameter, so the circumference divided by the diameter is pi.
And then it doesn't work.
Yeah, that's a real thing. But yeah, if you try to write it down, you'll be there forever.
Yeah.
You can't write every decimal.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. Like, I don't know. I think it's just like if you had enough time, like let's say it was infinite, because the universe technically is infinite, but it isn't, because it is and it isn't at the same time. So
it is what it is.
Yeah, is it? That's what it is, bro. I mean, like, I don't know if it was able to be written infinitely. Who knows? But yeah, like I said, like I think math is also just very theoretical. It doesn't really, like you're saying, it's not real.
It's like math is basically what you were saying earlier, which was if Boolean logic, like from like coding. You know what that is? That's like if this then that, if this then that. Like math doesn't even really have to do with numbers. Like numbers are like a pretty recent idea.
Yeah.
Like a long time ago, it was just like letters. It was just like event A causes event B.
Right.
That's it.
And then numbers are just ways to like interpret that easier, or like leave it more as like an open statement.
Yeah. If I do this, then this happens.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is just like a way of trying to find comfort in the fucking not knowing what the fuck is going on.
Being alive in 2023.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Me neither.
I don't know.
Sometimes I like go and I go into the parking lot next to my building and I just watch shit happen. Cause I live like in like on the edge of the city a little bit, so like I get to see some stuff, not too much, but like I still see some streets and some buildings and things like that, and it's just like, wow, look at this shit. All these people think that like everything, all this is normal and whatever, but it's like, I don't know, 30 years ago this shit would look completely alien to anybody that isn't here now. But even people that are here now are like 40 or 50 and they saw shit that wasn't like this, but I don't know, since it was a slow change for them, it seems normal, but I don't know. I think it's crazy as fuck. Like, sometimes I look at a car's past and be like, wow, look at this fucking thing. Like, just a big hunk of metal with a bunch of parts that spin in circles, and now it moves. It's like, it just has some liquid in it. Well, it has a lot of shit going on, but thanks to some liquid that's flammable, gets to move around.
If you looked from really far up, you might think that those cars are animals.
Yeah.
You might not even pay attention to the people.
Yeah.
You might think, oh, the cars look really important. They go places. They could kill you.
Yeah.
They're powerful.
Yeah.
Maybe those are just like big rhinos or big elephants roaming around.
Yeah, and they're piloted by humans, so.
But who knows? Maybe the human is consumed. They go into the vehicle. They come out. Maybe they're being controlled by the car.
The car is using the
car is actually the sentient thing.
The car is
The human
using them.
is just some machine that
Right.
goes and does things for the car. It gets food. It brings it to the car.
Yeah. Puts groceries in, and then they get to take the crap. Yeah, it has to feed the car.
Yeah. It's its servant.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
has
slave
to
the
take
car.
care of it. It has to change the tires and bathe it.
And bathe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It could be looked at like that. Did you know?
You think?
Yeah, I think it's a good time to go, I guess.
Oh my gosh!
Well, how much?
You do it. You do it.
Buttholes.
Jizz.
Don't assault women at the gym because your raccoon didn't like your mom.
Donkey weather balloon. Purple. My dad's disappointed. That's my sexuality.
That's my
All right.
disappointed purple donkey.
All right.